Hi everybody, it's Judy here at River City Sewing, bringing you this week's video news. Now before we get into what I promised, bringing you a snippet of what's going to happen here in 2026 with our classes and events, there's a couple of things I need to go through first. Okay, so the first one, want to just give a bit of a shout out to some customers who, we saw a lot of customers during the show, and a lot of you have been through the store since the show, and a lot of you who hadn't been to the store before, thank you all for coming in and having a look around. It was lovely to see you and continue to see you all. Now, we had a comment that came through in the last couple of days, and a customer asked us if we were closing. Now, the quick answer to that is no. There are some other stores around Brisbane that will be closing at the end of the year, early in 2026, but not us, okay? So River City Sewing is not closing, okay? As much as I'd like to retire and get back to my own sewing, no. I'm just finished planning 2026, starting to plan 2027 and even into 2028. So we're still here, we're still gonna be going for, we're not going anywhere. All right, so if you heard that rumor or if that rumor was going around, please discard it. It's got no basis of fact in there at all. All right, so River City Sewing is still going to be here. We're going to be here to help you with your sewing, get your classes sorted and events sorted, for many years to come. So that being said, I'm going to give you a couple more updates of things that have happened in the last couple of weeks as far as machines go. All right, now many of you got some great offers at the show, and a couple of those offers extended till tomorrow, money-wise, but without any bonuses from the show. But new pricing will start from the 1st of November for a lot of the brands. Like there's a new Janome catalogue, 1st of November. There's new Husqvarna, Pfaff and Henny Quilter pricing from 1st of November. So there's lots going on. All right, so one of the big changes that happened with one of our staple machines is the Janome 644D overlocker has been discontinued and been replaced with a new, what they call sailing line overlockers. Now, they've improved the feed system of the overlockers. There's 3 in the range that's going to be coming in. There's 2 that are existing in the range that have been discontinued. So the 644D is one of them, and the 1110DX has been discontinued. So these new sailing line overlockers have had some improvements, and some of them are to do with the feed dog system, how it actually feeds the fabric. So they've changed that slightly. They've changed how the presser feet look and work by giving you extra visibility on there, some extra markings on there. They've improved how the machines do rolled hem with some improvements to the back of the feet. So there are different machines, and when there's a difference in the mechanics and the actual parts in the machine, usually the machine companies give it a new model number and they go forward from there. Okay, so the 644D still been a great machine. It's been a workhorse for many, many years. I know mine was over, 30 years ago, I guess, maybe. Time flies, right? So I've still got a couple left of the 644D. We're selling them out once they're gone. They're gone. I've got a demo model and a couple others in stock right now. I mean, that was probably one of the only overlockers we used to keep in stock because it was so popular. So we have a couple of those. So if you are looking for a new overlocker that's a little workhorse, and we've got a good offer on that right now till we clear those. All right, and then they'll be replaced with the new sailing line. The 644D is replaced by this new model called the 554D. The numbers don't mean a lot as far as being above it or below it, but it's all the same features as the 644, but with the improvements that they've made, as I mentioned. There's a 654D, which if you like an overlocker to have a free arm and still have all those ease of use that the 644 had, then you can go into that 654D, which will be normally selling around $14.99, but it's going to start selling at $9.99. And the replacement 554D sailing line will be on sale. Normally $12.99 at $7.99. So we can start to order those, but there'll be, obviously being a new product, the initial order comes in and then it's in short supply, and then it moves on from there. So if you're thinking about upgrading your overlocker and you want to go with the new model, great. If you're thinking that, you know, your overlocker needs to be replaced, then have a look at the 644Ds that we have in stock right now that you can take one home today. So come in and have a look at those. Like I said, there's new pricing coming. If you had a quote from the show, or you were looking at a machine at the show, and especially in the Pfaff and Husqvarna Viking embroidery machines, come and see us, because there's some great offers and run out deals on some of their models. There is new models going to arrive in 2026, early 2026. So there's runouts on them, some of those machines now, and some really good offers on some Epic 3s and Icon 2s. So if you've been looking at those, this is the first time they've had some dollars off those machines, and some open box models which will give you up to $5,000 off. So if you've been eyeing off and wanting to replace your maybe a Creative Sensation or one of those, or we just wanted an upgrade to a really nice embroidery machine through Pfaff or Husqvarna Viking, now is the time. Get it into those open box models, and you know, they're great offers, so well worth looking at while they're on. So come and see us here at the store. Right, down to business of what we were going to do today. It's our class offerings, I'll say, for 2026. Now, many of you have been asking, okay, what are you going to do? Have you got a list yet? And I promised you that I'd go through some of what we were doing for 2026 in this news. So here we go. The first things that we want to mention is that our year is fully booked, okay? There's a few events that we are putting the final touches on, but we have a full calendar every week for 2026, okay? Different events, different brand days. So how we're going to work is there's a number of special things that we haven't done before, and I want to go through those first, and then I'll go through our changes to what we did in 2025. So our normal classes, I'll start with them first, maybe. Our normal classes, those of you who come along either every week or every fortnight, they have started now to be populated in the calendar. The Monday morning, Monday afternoon classes will continue as normal. The Tuesday evening dressmaking class will stay as fortnightly and come under review later in the year, okay? So that's where that's going to stay right now. The bag making class with Robin is going to continue once a month, and to do like the By Annie's product, which is great. So, and there's the Saturday classes like Saturday Stitch Out, Stitcheroos, all those will continue, but there's some changes to some of the other classes. What we're trying to do is make sure that every base is covered here, whether you're into garment making, or whether you're into quilting, or whether you want to learn a different quilting technique, or you want to learn general sewing or embroidery, that we're covering all the bases as well as our long arm quilting side. So all of our techniques and machine types are covered under this umbrella of 2026. The first big event, or the first big events for 2026, is we're having a number of our long arm open houses, which are like a mini show for our long arm centre here at the store, where we are showcasing our brands, our 3 brands, our Gamel and Henny Quilter and Banana Q. Now, we're pretty unique here at River City Sewing that we're probably the only, and I will say we are the only machine store in the world that showcases those 3 brands together. So it's quite unique that we have Gamel, we have Henny Quilter, as well as Banana Q, all in the one showroom. So it's like a mini long arm show here every day at the store. So we've taken that one step further in 2026 and organised a number of long arm open houses where you can come along if you're interested in either finding all about what long arm machines are available, whether you are a long armer and you're looking to upgrade or see what's new, or you've done all your research and you just want to come and have a look and put your hands on machines and have a look around, then these open houses are available so that you can come and be part of a 2-day event. So they run over 2 days, generally a Friday and a Saturday, as they go through. So the first one is going to be February 13th and 14th. And I think they'll be great because it'll give you an opportunity to see it almost in a show environment. Sometimes that can be a little bit less intimidating, but here with us, we always have that principle that there is no pressure. We understand as long arm owners and buyers ourselves that there's sometimes a process goes along with that, but it is an interesting way for you to get more information about a long arm at these events. Okay, so if you want more information, if you go into the booking page, and I'll show you on my computer just here, let me go into the booking page. So if you look at, just go to the date down here, and if you scroll across to February the 13th, anytime you're ready, computer. There we go. So here we are, River City Long Arm Quilting Open House. We would like you to click on there and you can book yourself in. It's a free day, but it would be lovely if you could book yourself in so we know that you're coming. There's already been bookings into that, those sessions already. So if you are looking to come along, book yourself in. That way we know you're coming along. And they'll run from 10 till 4 on the Friday and the Saturday. So there'll be others during the year. There'll be another 2 during the year, but the first ones you'll see there, okay? One thing with the booking page I'll touch on as we go through some of these is that you'll only ever see around about 4 months in advance, unless it's an event, okay? And in all those events, you'll see 6 months in advance. You won't see everything. I think that gives you enough time to be able to book into those classes. I've decided that it's easier and much simpler on the calendar and not have scrolling heaps and heaps of information, that we basically only let the booking page show you about 4 months on average at a time. That's heaps of classes in between because, like I said, if I show you my calendar with my strips of paper on it, these are all different classes, all different events running through, and where the gaps are knowing your machine classes. So that it is full, all right? So there's something happening all the time. So the other things that are happening and the things that have changed is how we do our other classes. Now, our other classes, we started with some brand days towards the end of this year, okay? So, because we wanted to change something up and see how it ran. So we decided in 2026 that a lot of our we'll have a number of brand days during the year. One of the changes is Banana Club. It won't be monthly anymore, but there'll be a number of them during the year, but majority of them will be hands-on, as well as Janome days, and there'll be Husqvarna days and FAF days and AccuQuilt days and Brother days and Scan and Cut days and all of those types of things for each of our brands. So some will be designated as demo only, but some of them will be designated as hands-on, and you will need to bring your machines in for those particular classes. So that's one thing that has changed. And you will see that reflected in the calendar as we go through. And that'll begin from the end of January. The school holidays, I've tried not to book too much within special events within school holidays, because I know it affects many of you who either have families that you look after, you've got grandkids over, or you've got kids coming home from school, or you're taking some time out or whatever. So we've tried to accommodate that as well. But they're the couple of things that are changing. So there are some items already up on the website, on the booking page. If you want to start booking in and having a look at those, please go right ahead. Earlier you book, the better you will have a time slot, because most of these classes will be in our downstairs classroom, except for the long arm day, of course, they're all going to be upstairs. But a lot of these are going to be smaller events where you'll need to book. I'm trying to minimise the amount of moving machines possible. Like if I get a class and I have a wait list, of course I'm going to put it upstairs. But most of these classes will have a maximum of 10 in a classroom on our lower level. So that's why it's important that you get yourself booked in whenever you can. So go in and have a look now. There's quite a few things there. One other thing I have changed is my Anything Goes embroidery class was generally during the week. All right. I've changed that now to be less often, but it'll coincide it'll be on a Friday, just before Stitcher's class and just before the Saturday class. So it will give you almost like if you book in for the Friday Anything Goes, bring your own project embroidery, there'll be months where there's Stitcher's happens on the Saturday morning straight after, and then the Saturday stitch out on the Saturday. So effectively, you come in on the Friday, you can leave your machine overnight, come and do Stitcher's on Saturday morning, and then get stuck in again Saturday most of the day. So it's almost like a 2-day embroidery catch up for you to do your project or learn more or do those kinds of things. So there'll be a number of those during the year. You will need to book into all of those sessions, the Friday and Stitcher's and the Saturday afternoon class, but it'll allow you to get more of those projects done. I know many of you want to finish your Kimberbell quilts, many of you want to finish your Hoop Sister quilts, and those kind of things. So that's an opportunity for you to look at those, and those dates, some of those dates are already up online. And I know that some of you that I've spoken to already about those have started to jump in and book in. So it could get quite popular to book into those, all right? So I just wanted to make sure that you weren't having to, bring your machines in and out all the time. So it doesn't happen every month, but it will happen, but it happens every couple of months. So there's like a month's break, and then so yes, so that's some changes that I've made to the embroidery side. OESD will continue to be Wednesdays, but yes, the OESD has been a popular one for this year, and with the Saturday class being what it is, it was sometimes a little bit hit and miss how many people we had in that class. So if you were wanting to do an OESD session on the Saturday, you would have to book into the Saturday Stitch Out, okay, to do that. So there'll be one official OESD class, and that's on a Wednesday each month. And the Saturday, if you want to do or catch up on your OESD Skill Builder class, you'd need to book into a Saturday Stitch Out. Okay, and that allows us to do a little bit more with some other Saturday projects in there to liven up Saturdays for you all, to give you a bit more variety in some of the things we can offer. So with that being said, that's a little bit of an overview. The one thing that with our Long Arm Open House, I will say, is that between the open houses happening, because there's 3 of them during the year, there'll be some education events for our long arms. So Marino and I are teaching for GAML and Creative Studio. We have handy quilter educators coming in to help us with some education events for handy quilter, and Bernina educators coming in for the Bernina Q series. So that'll be great. So everybody's covered. So that'll happen in between the open houses. So there's a little bit for everyone, no matter what brand of machine you have, what type of machine or what type of sewing you would like to do. There's something here for everybody. Okay, so we will be taking expressions of interest for pattern drafting for 2026. At the moment, I don't have a pattern drafter class in the calendar, but I will take expressions of interest because I have a couple of event spaces, you know, a couple of days here and there still with question marks over what we were going to put into that time slots, but I need to have expressions of interest for those. Okay, we're lucky to have Christine with us here today, doing the pants and design class, which is going to be fun over 2 days. But if you are looking for a pattern drafting session in 2026, you can also join in the dressmaking class on a Tuesday evening. But if you would like to do another workshop or be involved in another workshop with Christine as an educator from the Pattern Drafter system, please register with our team, and we will have determined that for whether we run another one of those in 2026. I know many of you enjoyed those sessions, so it would be great to do that again. So we just need to know if we've got the numbers for that. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of a sneak peek of 2026. Now the list on the website will remain as it is for the 2025 sessions till the end of November. There'll only be an outline for classes available on the list. So it'll be released once every 3 months, just showing what's available, what's coming up, and what our regular classes, when they run, and those kinds of things. So if you're looking to download a copy of the list right now, it'll be for 2025. There's been some changes to that as well because of numbers and the bookings that may or may not have happened. So don't go downloading that yet, okay? Not unless you want a class before Christmas. Now, we'll remind everyone that for the rest of the year, there's a couple of events coming up. Margot's class is on the 15th of November, and it's a mystery, okay? If you've never done a mystery quilt, this is going to be a lot of fun because it's all improv. It's going to be a little bit of fun. Margot's class there, we need some people in that class, otherwise we're going to have to knock that one on the head. But it would be a fabulous class to do because you'll be able to do something that you've never done before. All right, so it's well worth coming to see Margot. Please, you got to book into this one in the next week, because if we don't get the numbers, unfortunately, we're going to have to cancel. But it's an improv block, so just, you know, if you've always wanted to try something different with your quilting, now's the chance. Okay. The Christmas party. At the moment, let me just check how many bookings we've got in there. There's quite a few started now. Friday, the 5th of December. We've got a few bookings already in there, so come on, guys. We need to get your bookings in for that. All the details are on the website. It's going to be catered. And there's a Secret Santa thing going on. So if you would like to come along to the Christmas party, it's on a Friday, the 5th of December. So come along to that. So please book in. It's under events on the booking page. All right. So I think that gives you a little bit to go with. Every week we're going to be giving you a little bit of a sneak peek and go into more of what's happening in 2026. We hope that we're able to give all of you those classes that you want more hands-on. We know that. And we hope that by doing the brand days, it'll be more specific to you and your machine rather than be general. There'll be some classes that are going to be general, and that's just how it's got to be, especially with things like overlocker techniques or, you know, there is more baby lock days, but there could be other days that just shows you how to use a foot, or we could be showing you how to use gadgets, or we could show you how to do all different things. All right. So they'll be revealing themselves as we go through 2026. The other thing I wanted to mention, signing off on this episode, is that we will be having some club days return in 2026. There will be 6 of them in 2026, and they will run either Wednesday or Thursday, and the first one will be on February 19th. But with club days, you have to be, your club membership has to be current, and you know, we will be doing morning tea like we normally do, show and tell, all those kinds of things at different times, at different event club days. We'll be having a special guest that comes in to have a chat to you, but it'd be nice to get back to some social interaction for club and be able to bring you all together, because I know that a lot of you have missed it. The reason why we don't do club every month is because we give you this video newsletter every week generally, and a lot of the people that can't get to us in the country areas and people who are outside of Brisbane or are unable to come to club appreciate me doing this newsletter. So thank you for all of your feedback on that, and hopefully you might get a chance to come in to have a look and be part of our club events in 2026. So that's all I've got after all that. Hopefully, sorry it's a little bit longer than normal, but there was lots of things for me to bring across to you. If you have any queries about classes coming up, keep watching the videos as they go through. This was just a little bit of an overview, but like I said, even though you may not see the class straight away that's happening at the end of the year, there is classes booked for all classes in the calendar for all of our things we've talked about right up until December. I think it's December the 23rd or 22nd of 2026, all right? So there's lots there. So until next week, thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you in store really soon. And look, like I said, if there's something that you've seen or heard or you want to more information on, please send me an email at hello@rivercitysewing.com.au, or start booking yourself in for some of these classes that you're seeing up online at the booking page. So until next week, thanks for watching. Bye for now.